guys, welcome back to me, my mom, and my Padres. That felt very influencer to me, but
Sure.
I mean, sure, we can go with that route. Yeah, we're back. We're glad to be back. It's been a while. I think 3 weeks is what we decided. But
sorry.
I mean, last time we were recording, we were kind of just saying that like nothing exciting is really happening. Offense was a little bit down. Tatis is even more down. Post Dodger series, which we'll kind of go into depth, I feel like at least the offense is back to some extent, right? We had more excitement, and Manny Machado is being Manny Machado.
Manny, oh my gosh! I think the last time we got together and talked, things just were like. I think we were in the midst of a losing streak because things haven't changed that much. Although our record they keep holding their own. Went 1-for-3 against the Dodgers, which was kind of, I think, not completely unexpected. I mean, I think if we got swept, it would be devastating. I think if we won, that would have been great. If we swept, we would have been falling all over ourselves. But I think,
I think the majority of people who are listening and who have been following the Padres and even the Dodgers to some extent would assume that. Not a split series, but like a 2-1 series was in order. Just
split,
yeah. Who was getting the win for the series? I think was in question.
Well, both of us were having issues.
Exactly.
We were having hitting issues. They were having pitching issues. So we definitely could have won either of the games too, right?
Oh, especially game one.
Game one, especially, right? That game one. That's right. That game was. It was exhausting.
The umpire pretty much gave the Dodgers.
That's right. Game. That's right, with Manny's final pitch there. But, yeah, exhausting series. I'm happy to see the offense come alive to some extent. Jackson Merrill, especially, I feel like that woke him up. Toddy, again, I mean, we could talk about it a little bit more after we talk about the series, but still not really hitting. I think he went 0-for-4 yesterday. When he gets on, he's still as magical as ever. His defense is still, I mean, obviously he's still contributing greatly, but he's just, I don't know what's going on at the plate with him. It's concerning. But back to the series. The game we won against the Dodgers, to me, I mean, I'm glad we won, don't get me wrong. Dylan Cease pitched really well.
Yes.
Which kind of contributed to what happened. But Dave Roberts literally gave up, and Andrew Freeman, I'm sure Dave Roberts doesn't make these decisions on his own. I would be shocked. He gave up in the 5th inning, and they were down like 4-0 or 5-0. They didn't do the pitching, but they pulled out like Mookie and they pulled out Freddie Freeman, I think, and Teoscar. Yeah, they pulled these guys out like as soon as they were down like 4-0, and that's when they decided they're going to go with this rookie pitcher who had just been called up to basically throw batting practice to us until he had enough runs scored against him. And then they brought in Keke Hernandez. And it's like, I can't believe that they would give up that early.
This isn't the first time that's happened, too.
He did this all last season, right?
Well, yeah, and even in the playoffs when it was a blowout to him. And, you know, obviously we like to refer back to Hot Tub because they are our Bible when it comes to Padres. Hi, Harold.
Hi, Harold.
Padres
we might get some Harold here in a minute.
But there are reasons why it's like some of these like pitching rules are in place.
Yeah.
And it is because of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And you know, whether, like you said, whether it's Dave Roberts or their GM or a mix of the two. It's hard to say, but nevertheless, it's the organization. And it's something that is a pattern that the Dodgers have. And I mean, what do you do at this point? Because you know the commissioner isn't going to do anything. You know, or you know the league isn't going to. No, I mean. And not in sense of maybe changing rules again, which they have, but like in terms of like
preventing it from happening,
or like maybe a bit of like
pushback,
not punishment, but like reprimand them for what they've done because
you suspend your manager or somebody. Technically, he's not breaking the rules. So last year, I forgot who it was against. It was not against us, but he brought in a position player to pitch when they were only down 5-0.
I think it was also Kike earlier in the season.
No, this was last season because they changed the rule. This season you have to be up by 9 or down by 8, I think. But he did it last year. It was only 5-0. And the problem with that, again, it's not in the what do you want to call it? It's not what's good for the game. It's terrible for the freaking fans. The spend a lot of money to come watch a game.
Your fans.
Your fans are spending all this money, and in case coming down here, probably paying 3 or 4 times what a ticket costs, driving all the way from Marietta or whatever, and then you're pulling out your stars in the fifth inning.
I was surprised that none of these games were national broadcast.
That too.
But
yeah.
But I am curious what the narrative would be if that were to be. Would it be the
smart,
that's what I'm
blah.
thinking, right? He's really thinking ahead of the game, to win the series. Da 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 da.
Well, I think it goes back.
But even though even if it is a master strategy to look forward in tomorrow, he's still hurting his players. They're still hurting their players.
Oh yeah.
It goes beyond the fan experience.
Right.
It's a morality or an ethics question at this point.
Is it ethical? Yeah, for sure. Then they
that's where I think,
they get
and that's
right
where I think maybe
line.
even an investigation needs to go into play, because you're spending $1 billion effing dollars and you have 15 pitchers on the injuries. That seems like what's it called? Reckless endangerment almost.
I was talking to a Dodger fan friend today, a coworker, and he was saying he thinks this is part of their strategy too. That there's this is from a Dodger fan, that there's this phantom, IL.
That's what,
and that they're stacking Snell and Glasnow there specifically. I think the young guy, Rookies, he is.
Well,
he
that was
surgery,
rumored,
right? Yeah. So he is actually hurt. And training in. They're just kind of keeping them on ice for when they need them, and as a strategy.
Because they're also injury-prone pitchers in the first place.
However, they're
that
game on Tuesday also magnified the problems that they have. They have significant pitching problems, and if they're not careful, then and who's to say these guys come back and pitch well too?
Totally.
Okay, so Shohei's coming back too. His is legit, obviously. He had surgery, but who's to say how he's going to pitch well? We don't know. So Blake Snell is usually a very good second half pitcher, but I don't know about Glasnow. Glasnow doesn't want to pitch. That's literally, what kind of injury is that? He said he just doesn't feel right or something. So, but guess what? Who else says that? On the Padres.
Yu
Darvish. And last year, what did you do?
Started pitching and then got hurt again?
He never got hurt, but he took a very long leave of absence.
What do you mean? He's hurt right now.
I know. Last year, he took a very long leave of absence, showed up towards the end of the season fresh and on fire. Are other teams like us doing the same kind of thing? Maybe. So what do we do? I think part of the Dodgers even goes deeper too, because they are literally signing injured players, or they're going to be injured. They know that these guys are going to be hurt a lot of the times when they sign them, and they sign them anyway, and they just stack the freaking minor leagues full of temporary replacements. I don't even know. It's not in the...
And it's not even because they have endless amounts of money, because you don't see the Mets or the Yankees doing this either, at least not to this degree.
Right.
This is a Dodger-based problem or conspiracy that is singular to that organization. Would you agree?
A lot of it, yeah. The way that they're maneuvering their injured list, this whole, we're only going to try to win 2 out of 3 games. I don't even care about the other game. We're just going to sit everybody's, and what if they don't win the division because it comes down to a game or 2, or they don't get home field advantage, or, that literally could happen.
Did the Dodger organization think that it was going to be this tight of a race between not only us but San Francisco as well?
No, definitely not. Arizona, if anybody. But no, they didn't. And like I said too, I still think they're going to obviously win the division, but they could definitely lose home field advantage with the way that they're doing it.
Absolutely. The Giants are actually I didn't see yesterday's game, but as far as I know, half a game back in June.
Yeah.
Well,
the Dodgers have 2 big injuries. They just lost Chapman and...
You mean the Giants?
The Giants, sorry. They just lost Chapman and the catcher,
Yeah.
Bailey. I don't know how long. I don't know how long for. I think Chapman's out for a month. Bailey, I think it's just 10 days, but that's gonna hurt because Chapman was there.
Well, and then
But they keep winning
but also
anyway.
speaking of injuries, you have to pour it out to another victim of the Tommy John, Corbin Burns.
Oh, Corbin Burns! Holy cow! If I were
did you see the video of that?
I just heard him say my elbow's
Mm-hmm.
toast or
Mm-hmm.
something. But if I were a Diamondbacks fan, I would be in shambles right now.
Yes.
However, I feel like they're starting to turn things around, and as we know, sometimes teams, when they're faced with adversity, they really step up, and that's what our captain Manny does. Continue. My God,
Let's have a Manny moment.
let's have a Manny moment. He's the greatest signing in the history of the Padres, probably. Like, how many times do you sign an expensive free agent, like a really expensive free agent, and they earn what they make? Manny has, for
Manny
sure.
has.
He's
You get one of those, every generation.
yeah,
Right?
kind of, yeah. Well,
And
Padres
you're lucky.
never do. But
Yeah, I mean, Tony's Tony. I mean,
yeah, and he
he's
wasn't a signing. He
he's
was
a
our
single,
guy.
exactly.
Yeah, and
but
but he wasn't a free agent signing. Trevor Hoffman wasn't a free agent.
no,
signing.
he was a trade, right?
Trevor Hoffman was a trade, and he was like a rookie, or I don't think he was in the minors, but he wasn't much.
Manny
He wasn't
Machado
Trevor.
is. I'm trying to compare him to someone else because never have I ever. No, I guess he's kind of like our LeBron in the sense, just in the fact that us as a community or like as a city and as like a team, we see him to like I say to what he truly is because we're watching him every day. We've seen that he's come. He is for the most part, especially now since he has like his like drama has like subsided a little bit. He is,
Yeah.
Favorite or he is preferable in like the media in general.
Yeah.
Everyone else still
Hates him.
effing hates
But
him.
you are with
And you know what? At this point, let
I
him.
don't care. Yeah.
Let him.
I was gonna say everyone, with the exception of freaking Bob Nightingale, but you are starting to see that the story that the media is putting out there is his redemption arc and how he's matured and he's a different player because his numbers speak for themselves. He's 32 now, I think. So he continues to play. I mean, obviously his defense has taken a step back, but he still makes those. He's got 11 or 12 errors.
He still makes unbelievable plays.
Still makes
That's only
unbelievable
Manny
plays,
Machado can make.
and he's clutch. He's so clutch on a team that lacks serious clutch.
And he's always been.
He always
that
been.
way.
This is who he's been for us for sure.
He had some slumps, yeah, but
I didn't follow his career until he came in. To be honest with you, I knew nothing. When we signed him, I had been kind of checked out of baseball. Serious, like
Of course,
I still caught games here and there, but I didn't pay attention to the American League at all, and I did not watch the World Series when he played for the Dodgers that year. So I had no idea who he was. I knew who Bryce Harper was, and I heard we were going to sign either Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. And since I knew who Bryce Harper was, I was like, oh, we should sign him. And then we signed Manny Machado. I'm like, I don't know anything about him. And then I found out, oh, he's really good. And some people are like, he's even better than Bryce Harper. I'm like, really? Okay, well, I don't know about that, but better defender for sure. Probably, I don't know about hitting wise. Anyway, so yeah,
they're very similar in their clutchness. Also, I'd say they live for those. Big
and
moments.
they've had. He said moments I believe where he's kind of carried his team too. So anyway,
so our Manny moment. God damn, we love you. We love you so much.
you should sit up.
Oh my gosh,
Look,
I'm
okay,
just comfy.
there. I know, but we're not even. That's better. Okay.
Okay, do you want to have your Tatis time now?
Oh yeah.
Because I think you're kind of dooming.
Do you?
I think. I don't
know.
Listen, I think he's obviously in a serious slump. Whether it's strictly baseball or it's external factors, that is something that we don't freaking know. But the matter of fact is, he's a 24-year-old superstar.
26.
26-year-old superstar who hasn't played a full season since we've signed him. Maybe we're just kind of over-exaggerating a bit, and we need to actually see how he does in this full season. Sure, it's been the biggest slump of his career, but like you said, he's still performing on the bases and in the field. It's not affecting him in any. It's not affecting him as much, on those other two bases as it is in hitting. But as baseball goes, all we care about are our hitting statistics.
Ultimately.
And the fact that he's not hitting, yes, it is alarming.
And he's our number one batter.
Yes, and that's not a Tatis problem for putting him in the leadoff spot.
What should he be?
I think at this point, you have that. I think of like that Ted Lasso scene. You haven't seen it, but he's talking to his star player, but in Ted Lasso, he's like a veteran who's like at the end of this career. But
I know.
In this aspect, it's a young athlete at the peak of his career, right? But has obviously been battling some.
Are you talking about what's his face that he's talking to?
Brett Goldstein, yeah, Roy.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah. I saw that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think there is pressure on Schilt to keep him in the lineup, to keep that
confidence.
Maybe that degree of trust in a sec too, but then you got to think back, take a step back and think, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do in order to improve the team? The issue is, or I guess it's not really an issue. The thing is, we're still winning. So I think it'd be different if
by the skin of our teeth. It's weird.
I think
Don't you think
especially with that away series that we had, those 2 away series that we had before the Dodger series. Mm-hmm. It was really dicey with them, and we didn't seeing it in a fan perspective. We thought we didn't perform that well, but like we said, we went 4-3,
something like that. Yeah, we split with the Giants.
So I think the fact that the Padres are still performing winning baseball or playing winning baseball gives Tatis and Schilt a longer leash with him. Speaking
to the record a little bit, I was talking to our favorite Giants fan, and she was saying that they feel like we do. They don't know. They're not exactly sure why they're doing so well because they can't hit at all. Like I think their numbers fine. They're really good. But
hasn't that been a little bit more consistent throughout the season so far
for them?
Yeah. Because for us, it was just kind of May.
Yeah. Okay, well,
April we were out of our mind.
What is this, June 12th? We're still on. Well, anyway, the bottom line, too, is she's like, every single game, every single run is so stressful. And that's how I feel like with us, too. That game on Tuesday is the only game I can think of in, like, the last month or so where you can be like, it's a non-save situation, right? Like, we're winning and it... Hi,
oh, sorry. He's just performing for you.
Show everybody your beautiful boy. Look at this. Look at
Long
this
kitty.
Look at his beautiful eyes.
There it is.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, Harold, you're too much. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, it's just, I can't remember a time where we've had a win where it's a non-save situation. Can you?
I mean, God, Mom, I think.
Right?
I could look, but okay. I think, but also that's our mindset. I'm sure we have had one. If we just look it up, we're just
not a lot.
Okay. Not a lot, but still more than you think.
Give me a nice 7-3 or 6-2. Everything's been like 2-0.
Yeah.
3-2, 1-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
1-0. Like it's no way to live.
Because the offense is no way to live. And it's because the offense is, slow.
I know. So anyway, back to Tatis. So you think that my concern is not warranted?
I wouldn't say it's not warranted. I think a bit pardon me, I don't want to sound offensive. I can't think of a better word. Maybe a bit exaggerated.
Why is that? Why would that be?
I just think I don't know. I don't know.
I've never heard that that's an offensive word.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Oh, you're trying not to offend me?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Girl, please. Anyway, so good. Maybe fine. I'm glad you.
But then also that's kind of been my issue, right, in the past, that I am kind of a little laissez-faire.
Yeah. Overly optimistic.
Exactly.
Laissez-faire means free trade, doesn't it?
Whatever. Yeah. Wait, no. What's the word?
I know you're thinking of another idiom, like a French idiom, but I can't think what it is. But isn't laissez-faire like free trade, open trade, or something? Anyway, never mind. So, I am concerned about because I don't see any progress being made. And again, there's no power there. There's something is wrong because he's getting so many weak grounders to the shortstop. It's almost predictable.
I mean, I was even texting you during a game. It's like us as fans can see the mechanical errors, right?
He's
moving his entire bottom half, and then he's moving his entire upper half. It's not that his timing is off. His body is off.
His mechanics are off.
His mechanics are off.
It's mechanical. I don't know how you fix that. And again, it's just he just wears his emotions on his sleeve. Like we talked about this, but you know, it's like that. I don't know. He's hard to watch right now. But I still say, you know, every time he comes up to the plate, I still anticipate that something good's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And he's being more selective.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
That's good.
There we go.
That's really good.
Positive.
Because his strikeouts were getting out of control.
As the optimist, maybe that's the positive takeaway out of this, right? Yes, he is aware that he is not hitting to the degree in which that he has the potential for. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he has the maturity, you know, and the realization to be like, okay, well, obviously I'm not hitting the way I used to, so I really need to focus my attention on things that we all know I need to work on, and that's discipline, and that is definitely something that has been better since this slump, or as this slump has progressed.
I feel like it's kind of more recent, because his strikeouts were, they were getting really bad. He was striking out at least twice a game, sometimes 3 times, and now I think he's realizing, these guys, I'm still leading off to get on base, so I need to be. If these guys are they're throwing me these crappy pitches, and I'm just hitting them off the end of my bat, and I'm not getting power. So I'm gonna get on base, because when he gets on base, magic still happens. However, let's talk a little bit about who comes up after him.
Well, wait, really quick. I just want to say, if Tatis isn't your leadoff batter, then who is too? You know, that's also the issue that we're having.
Maybe Jackson Merrill.
But he's also not hitting either.
He's coming back,
you know?
but he has a spark has been lit under him. So let's see how he does in this next series or so, and he could be an option. But Arise, oh my God, freaking yesterday, and Loki kind of lost that. He didn't lose a game, right? We lost that game in the 7th inning, and we had runners on first and second, or first, second, and third.
Bases loaded.
Bases loaded. What does he do?
1 out.
What does he do?
Pop up. Zach. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
You want to pause us?
Hi, I'm recording with my mom. Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Anyway.
You're good. Bye.
Relentless. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm like, I even told Dad to go, he's going to pop up, watch. And he did. And it's like, that's, all he had to do was hit the freaking ball in the outfield, you know? And, I was so irritated. And Manny was it Manny at bat for him? Yeah, Manny didn't have a good at bat either, but Arise was awful, and it's not the first time he's done that. So I don't know what's going on with him either. It's not as bad as Tatis, and he's a different kind of player anyway, obviously. But what happened? I don't know what he swings at everything, and a lot of the reasons why he's not being successful is because he's not swinging at pitches that he can be successful with.
Yeah.
Right.
The way to get a rise out is to throw a pitch in the zone.
Basically, yeah. He watches them. He takes the first pitch, every pitch, so he comes up. He has said in the past that he likes to hit with 2 strikes. He's not the only ball player who has said that. I think Tony Gwynn maybe even said that before.
I liked hitting with 2 strikes.
You like hitting with 2 strikes, yeah. So he likes to hit with 2 strikes. So why are you not pitching him a freaking strike right down the middle of every first at bat? Except yesterday. Did he not swing at the first pitch?
I don't think it was.
I think it was. I think it
might have been the second.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was the second. But I could have sworn, I'm like, today he swings at the first shitty pitch they throw to him?
I don't think it, well, not going to sound like an idiot if I'm wrong, but I think because he did take the first pitch.
Oh, he did?
You know,
okay, well then I'm wrong.
I could be wrong, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But from what I remember,
he always takes the first pitch. And that's what I'm saying.
Because I think it was like right down the middle too, and I'm just like, of course, you know.
Oh, it was just such a bad at bat. It was such a bad at bat. Oh. And then I'm like,
look at me and Tony. Me and Tony.
Oh yeah, when she was a baby. Are you able to make it big so you can see the whole thing?
No.
Oh, anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's a problem too. So you got those 2 people in the problem. Manny's amazing, and I really feel like Merrill's coming back to
I'm glad you think Merrill's.
You don't? He looked better.
He did look better. I think same thing with Tatis though.
He had some slug. He had some doubles and triples.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'll say he's on the up and up.
Yeah, he's on the up. I haven't seen that from the other 2. I really haven't seen that. I feel like Arise is almost as big of a problem as Taddy.
Mm. So then what do you do in Schultz? You know, what do you do if you're Schultz? Does Meryl have what it takes to bat in the leadoff spot?
We'll find out.
Now?
Right now, I would just keep things the way they are, see how Meryl does, and if they continue to do this.
I honestly think you could even swap Arise and Cronenworth at this split. Or even, I'd say Cronenworth just so you can keep
so
your
you
lefty
do Meryl,
righty.
Cronenworth.
Or Tatis and Cronenworth. Just Cronenworth has professional, he really has good
He's been having
bats.
decent at bats.
I'd say he consistently has decent at bats.
too.
Mm-hmm.
He just is he can't hit lefty, so I don't think. I think his splits are really bad. But whatever. He's been doing good. I've got no issue. I got no line with Andy Sheets. Andy Sheets, I thought he was a thing.
I've been telling people this. I saw this meme. It might have been from like Padre Terrible Memes. Mm-hmm. It was like, everyone's calling Sheets, Meryl,
Trey Leche boys.
and Cronenworth, Tres Leches.
Okay. I think it was Jackson Merle was wearing a TLB t-shirt.
Tres Leches boys?
TLB. This is TLB, which is Trey Leche. And it's Meryl Sheets and Michael King.
No, it was Cronenworth.
Are you sure?
The one I saw was Cronenworth.
Oh, I thought it was King.
Pitchers are in their own category.
Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. Oh, how funny. You get Trey Leche boys. That's what they're
Tres
calling.
Leches.
How funny. Yeah.
He's got Derry Bonds, you know? You got
Derry Bonds. I told Dad that. He said that's hysterical.
Oh my God.
So anyway.
Well,
the other thing he's been doing is he swings too early because he's been crushing.
Yes.
He's so close.
I know.
So close.
Let's
move up in the batting
Let's move
box.
forward. Let's talk about these next two series because it doesn't get any easier. You got
No, it does
Diamondbacks,
not.
then you got then you got again.
in LA, yeah. With all the
How do we
madness
feel? What's the
going on.
vibe? What are you expecting? What are you hoping? What's worst case scenario?
Going to Arizona. Who do we know who are facing pitching wise yet? They're still kind of beat up. They're still kind of beat up pitching wise, pitcher, and they're not only out. They're out Zach Gallen, I think, still.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, and Burns, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Merrill.
We got Kolick and Nelson tomorrow.
No, I don't know Nelson.
Nope.
Do you?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, shout out to Kolick. He's been pitching well.
Shout out to Kolick. Shout out
Randy Vasquez.
shout out Reddy Vasquez. Yeah. Shout out Berger. Hello. Absolutely stepping up to the plate. Mm-hmm. Shout out Cease. Honestly, just shout out our starting pitching. Actually, now that I'm really going through it, we really slept on them boys.
Except for Pavetta did not have a good game.
That was
a poorly pitched game by him.
Pavetta, nobody's perfect.
That's right.
Okay, you've been great.
You
have been overachieving, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Because when we signed him, wasn't he like, he's a typical number 4. Right?
You know, you've been overachieving. Everyone has their day. I'm not even gonna, say 2 cents about it. Yeah, I'm not exactly. Understandably, have had some rocky times, you guys.
Yeah, they're not perfect.
We get it. You know, we absolutely get it.
I'm not gonna yell at Estrada for having throwing a bad pitch yesterday when he's done so well. Okay, do we?
Oh no, Gallen is.
Oh, Gallen is. He's back. Okay. So is that who we're facing?
No, that would be the second game on the 14th.
Pavetta.
That would be Berger and Gallen.
Berger. Okay, Berger and Gallen. Interesting. Okay.
And then I'm not looking at the next 2 games.
So I don't know. I mean, everyone's been saying this, but I feel like Arizona's starting to, even though they've lost the
Well, it's because Marte is starting to play like Marte.
Yeah, exactly. What do we have? 4 games with them or 3?
I think it's 3 and then 4.
It is 3. So let's hope we get 2. Let's hope we get 2 from them, and then we go into LA, and let's hope we split. I mean,
if we're sure, I'll agree with you on that.
That's 4 and 3. It's like what we just did. Mm-hmm. Am I a doomer trying to get, or I'm just being real, or?
No, I think you're being very realistic, especially in LA.
Yeah.
It's just, again, for some reason, Tatis in LA just give me vibes, just give me good vibes, and Manny too.
Tatis in
LA.
Okay.
Yes, especially.
He freaking loves sitting there, so.
He loves being hated.
Yeah, he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we'll see.
We're fine, you guys.
Yeah.
It's fine. Still,
hasn't been
9 games over 500?
Since our incredible month, right? Was April the month?
Mm-hmm.
It's been pretty much the same the whole time.
9 games over 500.
So 9 games over 500.
You can't be mad.
No.
And I was wrong. San Francisco is a full game behind behind LA.
Oh, okay. And we're 2 games behind.
We're 2 games, and then Arizona's 6.5.
Okay. All right.
At 500.
So let's go get some of those games back.
Let's go.
The good news is after we play the Dodgers,
Kansas City.
Kansas City. I mean, none of these teams are terrible, but we're play Kansas City, Cleveland. I think Kansas City, Cleveland, and then somebody else. It's not
Kansas City, Washington, and then Cincinnati. Then end of June, beginning of July, we play Philly, and it's Philly, Texas, and Arizona again, and then the Phillies again.
Phillies are struggling.
Yes, I'm sorry. I know this is whatever. Our schedule's so dumb.
Our schedule's so dumb.
Schedule's so dumb.
It's so dumb. I don't get it.
Why?
Dodgers haven't played Arizona yet either, I think. Or either the
But it's
Dodgers or
not
the
just
Giants
why
haven't
are
played
we
Arizona yet
sandwiching
either.
these series? Well, we did it with
I know.
the Pirates, and then we're doing the Dodgers, and now we're doing it the Phillies.
And Arizona too?
And Arizona.
And even the Phillies is even dumber because they're not even in our division.
And St. Louis. Sorry. And San Francisco makes more.
Yeah, I mean, our division always
And why
makes
are we
more
playing
sense.
Cincinnati like 4 times? Whatever. I digress. I gotta go.
And those games really could go any way.
I gotta
way.
go.
You gotta go where?
Not really.
Oh. You're like, where are you going? So anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll, oh, really quick. Let's talk about trades a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's been a lot of rumbling
Sure.
about that. We need a left fielder. Let's say, would you prefer to throw some like big pieces in there and get a Duran, or would you assume they just get a Band-Aid?
You're thinking like we trade like a Caesar King or something like that, and
I think it would look more like if you're getting to does Boston need a starting pitcher? I think they might. So maybe we would be trading Cease, or I'm thinking it would be.
But is Boston going to even be in playoff?
I don't know.
Contention by the end of July too. That's also a question.
But they're probably going to ask for either DeVries or Salas. Do you trade DeVries or Salas for a Jaron Duran? And probably a major leaguer, maybe one of our bullpen pieces like a Yuki Matsui or someone like Anna Lockridge or something like that. Yeah, Peralta. Yeah. Everyone was like
Morgan.
Swap him for Bogart.
Straight up,
yeah.
And who's you can have Iglesias play.
Yeah,
I think that
Iglesias
needs to play more.
Holy cow!
He's
for an old
like,
man, he's got a good glove. He's like 37 now.
It reminds me kind of when like Manny would play shortstop when Tatis was hurt. Like,
the dazzle. Oh my gosh, yes.
Just you know what
Dad
I mean?
still talks about that. Dad still says he should be playing shortstop. He should be playing shortstop.
He's not your starter, but you are almost just as, and maybe even sometimes a bit more confident when he's on the field because he's just like pure consistency and snaps to Preller. That might be the signing of or him and Pivetta are just the signings of the year. I wish Iglesias would get more. I wish Iglesias get more playing time, but that
Gavin Sheets.
That kind of entails that there's injuries afloat, which is not what we need. But maybe giving Cronenworth and Bogarts more
a rise,
especially a rise.
And maybe Cronenworth the first.
Just stop.
Especially since he's hitting okay. I know that's a big debate.
And he has crazy defense.
Yeah. I mean, just a thought. I'm kind of, I'm kind of a little bit down on a rise. And a lot of people have been, and I've been, supporting him. But I absolutely see what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That he's just up there doing whatever he wants, not focused almost, Do you sing that too?
Or maybe, too in his head.
Too focused.
Too focused.
Something. He's just in a wrong...
He's got the yips. He's got the hitting yips.
I don't think he's got the yips. I feel like he's found something that worked for him, but it's very...
now he's overcompensating?
Or something worked for him that was out of the box, and now he feels like that's the way to go, but there's a reason it's out of the box.
I hate comparing myself to professional baseball players, but I was very good at making contact, but like, it was just about of like hitting power or like actually putting a good swing.
You could, no matter what, you could put
at
the bat on the ball. You hardly ever struck out. Yeah.
Is like that kind of the mindset that he's had. He's like, actually, my persona is going to be the person who never strikes out.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's part of it. 100%. I hate striking out. I hate striking out, and he never walks. Mm-hmm. But is that better than
striking out? You can strike out 3 times as more as you are, because he's had 4 strikeouts in the season so far.
I'd rather him be pickier.
And have more walks. Agreed.
So anyway, back to the trade situation. I don't know. Something's going to happen. We've been saying this. I thought it was very odd.
I thought it was going to happen.
Dennis Lynn was talking about it.
I thought it was going to happen sooner.
Me too.
I think the more we wait, I think it's just a matter of time. If it's not Preller, it's going to be some other GM who's going to, get this ball rolling. And once it does, it's just going to snowball.
Yeah.
The
dominoes will fall.
Exactly. So, us as Padre fans know, Preller is working nonstop. He has military grade uppers that keeps him going.
I heard it was cocaine.
There you go. Sorry, government issued legal cocaine. Yeah, we'll see. A left fielder is necessary, but what do you give up? I guess, like what you said, a prospect, but
a big prospect and probably a major league, probably the pitching. So I don't know.
Is Duran a free agent after this year?
No, he'd be controllable till 2028. He's young,
and he's got to have.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he would be a great. I mean, he's not having an amazing year, but he's a Southern California guy.
But he's a solid left fielder.
Yeah, he's way better than anything we have right now, and he'd be controllable. So our outfield would be set. Mm-hmm. If these guys can keep it together, our outfield being good. If we were to get somebody like him, our outfield would be in good shape for many years, 5 years maybe. Well, he's 2028, and that might even be when he's eligible for arbitration. I'm not sure. So we would have him for a while. So he would be somebody of that caliber could be worth trading. DeVries or
Salas. I would just not prefer Salas because of my catcher bias, but also because we have had a catching slump since
they're so far behind.
I've been born.
That's because there's not a lot of catchers that can hit anymore. And my understanding is, it used to be when I was growing up, catchers were like your power hitters. Mm-hmm. They were like your Johnny Bench or even your Terry Kennedy. I think about.
It's just pitching has become such a convoluted, complex
thing. Yeah.
Exactly. They're almost to the point of like a pitcher where all of your time is consumed on building this relationship with your pitcher,
right.
and doing these research on these batters and all that stuff. You don't have time to unless you're Cal Raleigh,
but that's what the thing is, like those kind of catchers are like becoming more and more the exception. Like Ethan Salas, who's still very young. Mm-hmm. He has not stayed on the same projection as far as his ability. Currently injured with a stress fracture in his back, which is not good for a catcher. But he's having trouble hitting above, I believe, if I'm wrong, he struggled with hitting above high single A, like double A. He's being a little less than average, I think. So who knows? Maybe he isn't going to be that guy. Catching is just so freaking difficult. It's my understanding it's very, very difficult to project how a catcher prospect is going to turn out.
That.
So, and let's face it too, we do a shitty job developing our talent. So Jackson Merrill, Adrian Morajon, Mackenzie Gore, and James Wood and C.J. Abrams, they've done pretty well. Well, and James Wood wasn't even cooked when we were here. He was still a very entry level young guy. So, how many prospects that we've developed have gone on to have very good careers? Can you think of any more? I mean, not with our team necessarily, obviously. The only 2 players currently on our roster I think maybe a couple of those other pitchers I don't know. The new pitchers maybe came from our system. I don't know.
More, you talking about like Morgan and
and the other guy, Berger.
Yeah.
I don't know if they came from us or they were
I
traded
don't
or
think
whatever.
Berger did.
Yeah. So why maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe like we're getting these guys and we can't develop them to what they need to be. Other teams might be able to do that. So trade them for guys that can play right now. You know, I mean, I think about that too.
Yeah, or, you know, Preller sees a player and he kind of anticipates where his peak will be and tries to get him traded, you know, before he reaches that peak. So, like, other GMs still see that potential in him. I don't know. Preller to me just seems like Lex Luthor, like evil genius, Mojo Jojo, like Gavin Newsom.
That's funny. Oh my gosh, we like Gavin Newsom. Don't get me wrong. Like, but yeah, he gives that vibe for sure.
We like how much he hates Republicans.
Yeah. So anyway, that's funny. I was gonna say the same thing. Mojo Jojo. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like evil genius kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, leave that for the Dodgers. That's the kind of shit they do. But AJ definitely has his head turning things, and he did get it very right with Jackson Merrill.
Mm-hmm.
So broken clock was right once a day, right?
Twice a day.
So anyway, we'll see. I mean, that was my thought when people were absolutely like, absolutely, you're not trading Salas or DeVries. And I actually see the argument more so for DeVries. Yeah. But you're not trading Salas. And I think to myself, why not? I mean, like I said, especially now. Pitchers.
Well, I mean, I was about to
all these highly ranked pitchers.
I was just going to have to say one more. I was just going to have to say like one more point on catchers in general before you're saying like, how many teams have a offense performing catcher, right?
Not very many. Maybe more than that.
Smith, Rowley, sure. And then the guy from the Cubs, but even he's stopped.
And what about who's on the field? JT Realmuto?
Realmuto, yeah, but I think he got hurt.
Oh, I don't know.
Nonetheless,
the Wilson brothers are all right, but they're not amazing, you know. Yeah, they're very, very premium. Can you just go? Okay, if that's the case, can we continue to do what we're doing and just signing free agent catchers to fill a hole? That's what he does. That's what he kind of does with closers. He's been doing that for a long time too. I mean, Suarez we've had for 3 years now, which is kind of unusual. Before that, it was like Kirby Yates. It was Brad Hand. It was Tyler Rogers. Exactly. It was
the list goes on and on.
Every year it was a different guy, and that was kind of his strategy. That these guys are easy to come in. I just bring him in on a walk year, and freaking hater. Yeah, you know, like that's what he kind of did. So maybe you continue to do that with catchers. I don't know. We're kind of getting away from the whole trade thing, but. I'm not opposed to it if we can get a controllable piece like Duran.
Period.
And then I could say Duran instead of Duran.
That should be like his walk-up song too.
What is he? Which one would you pick?
I picked Duran.
No, but which walk-up song? Which Duran could you name one? Can you name a Duran song?
Yes, I can name one. I'd pick I just don't know the titles off the top of my head.
Okay, well, hum me a little bit.
Well, no, because I get them and the Smiths mixed up.
Duran and the Smiths mixed up.
Just because they were very prevalent in very similar years of my life.
True.
Listening in Karen's car.
And mine too.
Let's see. I do probably Ordinary World.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
At least not Hungry Like a Wolf.
I was gonna say thank you for not saying Hungry Like the Wolf. I would have to be like, he should walk up to the chauffeur. That would, you know, the chauffeur you probably don't know. That would get the Duranis.
There you go.
In a bunch. Anyway.
Preller, put that on one of your bargaining chips. Why we need Duran on the team, so my mom can listen to Duran every Friday home game. All right, guys.
Yeah. All right.
We love talking. This was a good one. Again, another stressful away series ahead of us. And hopefully we'll end up on top. And hopefully we'll record a little more recently than once every week.
Yeah. It's not... Ma'am.
Sorry.
I'm the one that always says we should record.
You're the one.
Okay, maybe next week.
You're the one that's traveling the world.
Wait, so maybe next... What are we looking at? Let's do it after the next Dodger series. How about
Here,
that?
perfect. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Stop.